Hey you guys, Jeremy from Plastic Fantastic Climbing, and as you guys know, Abby and Kate, but we have a new member today, and it's Anacron. And you know what, I did not, but they got to try on the new chakras, and we are here today to talk about them. So, I love to just start right into these things, and as you guys know, this kind of fills in that little tiny spot that Evolv had with the Shaman LVs. And I was lucky enough to have Abby on the new Shamans, and you were on the LVs, and we have our, what do you call that on a card? They call it the unknown on like a boxing card, right?
Oh, the undercard.
The undercard. We have Anacron on our undercard, who has never climbed in a pair of Evolvs before, so this should be fairly interesting. So, I think the first thing that we always love to talk about is that we love to talk about fit. So, how did they fit? Let's start there.
I got these about a month and a half ago. I started wearing them a month ago. And I have realized that in Evolv, I am somewhere between a 7.5 and a 7, but I always downsize. And I don't know if it's a good thing. My feet are so tight in there, and they don't stretch as much or as fast as I'd like, but they're starting to feel okay. So,
and what's your normal shoe size?
My street shoe is a 7. So I think the fit is a little bit tight, especially at the top. Starting out, they were, not do it. When I first put them on, they would go like this, and eventually they started to like overlap a little bit, which now they like feel like
interesting.
Yeah, no, it was really weird. I had my guy friend put them on. He's like a half size bigger than me.
Holy cow.
I know, and he was like, oh yeah, they're fine. And he stretched them out just enough where it was like perfect. But they definitely started off a little tight and don't stretch as much as I would hope. But which is a weird thing to say about climbing shoes, I think. But they're tight, but they feel really fitted and molded to my foot, which I like. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Abby?
I thought the fit was really, really great. I went with my just street shoe size, which is 9.5. I probably could have gone a 9, but I went with 9.5. And I thought that they were perfect to my feet. I didn't have any break-in period. They were comfortable. I could walk around the gym in them. I also found, compared to the other Shamans, like the
2016 Shamans, the blue and orange ones.
Yeah, I thought that these were much thinner and thinner on the heel. Because one problem I had with those is just like when I would heel hook, my toe or my heel would pop out, and I never had that problem with these. I thought that it was going to be kind of weird because they're such thin straps and there's only 2 of them, but it's still very comfortable and fits my foot great with no break-in period.
All right, so little break-in, no break-in.
But you went up a half size.
I went up
so maybe that's what it is. Maybe if I went up that half size, then I wouldn't have as much of a
9.5?
So I don't know, my feet are like really weird, they're like long and narrow, so it's really hard for me to like find shoes. So basically street shoes I range from like 8.5 to 9.5. So I just like never really know.
Okay, but these are 9.5. All right. 7.
7, a little tight.
Okay. Anacron?
I actually have the same issue with my feet as Abby. My feet are long and narrow and extremely bony. I have a crazy high arch top of my feet, bony. When I first put these on, they were so painful, and I really didn't like it at all. Like the first couple times I climbed in them, and I was like,
is that why you were? Because I remember giving them to you, and you're like, oh, I only wear them when I'm ready to project.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I was doing for quite a while. Like I couldn't, like I had to warm up in like my older shoes, and then climb a bit, and then like when I wanted to really jump on something and like see how these feel, like then I put them on, and then I could wear them for like a few runs and take them off, you know. And I usually never have to do that, but after the stretch period, they actually fit me like perfectly.
Like stretch period being?
I'd say I climbed in them hard for maybe like 2 weeks straight.
stretch period being
3 weeks.
okay.
Yeah. And you know, as you said, like now they really feel molded to my foot. Like it feels great. Like and more so than shoes I've been used to climbing in, which you know is a complete flip from when I put them on. So when I first put them on, I was like, I don't know if these are gonna work out in the long run. But I mean, once now they're just like I love them. I love them now, as far as the fit goes, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we're essentially saying 3 weeks max. Or at least for you, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, no weeks.
I think
no
maybe
weeks.
there's
Out of the box.
maybe there's a don't be afraid to go up that half size if you're kind of not sure.
Yeah, especially because I like definitely have space. I guess I'm not like crammed into the shoe, and like my high ankles, my feet are like crammed in, and I feel like I'm not like losing precision in these by having a larger shoe. Like
So that is actually the question, right? Like,
so they like edge so well, and they're like the edges are gone. But
so you don't feel like even if you bumped up a little bit, you still don't feel like you've sacrificed your performance then.
right, I'm also not like ever on like 9 feet, you know.
Yeah.
That's not like I'm not. I don't know. I can't speak for someone.
You know what, though?
On like needs like the most precise footwork. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, I climb in you, and you're like D6, D7, and that's fairly dope.
Yeah, I feel like I did not lose any precision going the side I got.
All right. So since we're talking about performance, you talked about edging. Where do you think you really love the shoes? Like, where do they shine for you?
Honestly, I feel like they shine in all environments. I haven't actually worn them that much in the gym, so I don't feel like I can personally speak for that as much. So I did like a 10-day long trip outside, and I wore them every single day. I did it, and I was trad climbing, so I like shoved in the cracks, and it wasn't too bad. It hurt a little, but it wasn't like excruciating. It wasn't bleeding.
Yeah.
And then I did it on bouldering and red rocks. I did it bouldering on granite. I did it all types of things. I haven't been sport climbing in them, but I feel like they'd be great in sport climbing, and they're all great on like inclines. They're great. I mean, they're not super great on slab. They're not like slab shoes.
Yeah.
But I thought they were great in everything.
Yeah, but they perform well. How about you guys?
I love the heel hook. Like, I am so excited. I can just hang half the time, just dig it in and just go. I really trust them, which is nice. I mean, and edging too, but apart from that.
For me, who climbs, 98% of my climbing indoor, I really like these for the toe performance. I think that I've never worn a shoe ever that is as good on my toes as these are. I climb tons of slab, and like you're saying, they're not the best for slab, like I definitely was reverting to my older shoes for a lot of the slab stuff that I like to do. But I think that on like the really like flexible climbs that I like to do, the corner stuff, and like I was really finding kind of like technique additions that I never was using before, because I would always avoid using my toes before. I would always try to figure out how to do something without using my toe. But now I'm using my toe a lot more.
Yeah, those little holds, like, I trust these so much on those tiny holds, like indoors and outdoors. I'm like, all right, I got this. Like, I'll put on my other ones. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I need these, which is such a weird, like, I feel like I'm relying on these a lot more than other shoes.
Exactly that.
So for me, like, the way I understand things, or at least for I think what would help other people to understand things as well, is, so you've done the Shamans, the LVs. I've also seen you a pair of Instinct VS's and a pair of the pink high ankles. I've seen you in a ton as well.
I play the field.
You do play the
field. Climbing shoes. I've been in the LVs. I've been in these. I have Mad Rock Red Lines, which were super aggressive, and then I got them resold, and now they're amazing all-around shoes. I have the Black Wings. I have the Ansaris. I get around with climbing shoes. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to figure out what is best for my foot and stuff. So I've been in a lot.
Yeah.
My typical, I've only worn Mad Rocks since I started climbing 2 years ago. I burned through them super fast because I climbed so much. But generally, I've had Sharks in 5s more than anything else.
All right, so let's start with when I met you. You were climbing in the LBs, right? What do you love about the LBs that you can say you also love about the chakras?
I really love the extent to which they are aggressive. It's like not over the top like the high angles, which I feel like not trying to sit in the high angles for like a while on like a sport climb.
Yeah.
And I feel like they like perform really well on longer climbs, and also bouldering they have like high performance because they are downturned. And I felt the same way about the LBs. They edge really well. The LBs edge really well. So I feel like that's like maybe the highlight of the
Is that
kind of.
no? You answered it. So the question being, like, what do you love about the LBs, and what do you love about the chakras, and
okay, I feel
like how do they compare?
They have like great, like I really can't see it now, but they had great edges to start out with, and I thought that was like my one thing I really liked about the LBs too, and I always really noticed compared to other shoes. So.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I think in comparison to the LBs, they offer everything the LB has, but better.
Okay, so let's take a step back.
Yes.
And let's pick another shoe, because we have an LB opinion.
All right.
What other shoe have you climbed in that you love, or an aspect of that shoe that you love, and compare that with the chakra?
Let me think about this.
All right, Annika?
Move on.
For me, the Sharks have been my go-to for a minute as far as like my Mad Rock collection. And I think I definitely love the heel hook on the Shark, and the heel hook on these Evolvs is super solid. You and I were working that red problem for a while, and I was just starting with that heel hook and totally blew out the backside of my knee, but the heel felt great on the shoe every single time. Like it just locks in immediately. It's stiff enough, but then it's not like so hard that you're, painfully laying on. I really like the heel on these, and then the toe on the Shark is also, it's so, but the Evolv takes it much farther for me.
So here's some insider information, because we've talked about the heel. You and I have talked about the heel. When they created the new 2016 Shamans, everybody raved about the heel. So if it fit your heel, everybody raved about it. When they created,
the heel.
I know you hated the heel. You and Taylor hated the heel. They redid the heel on, because essentially what these are Shamans, and then what they did is that they made them a tiny bit narrower. Is what they did. Just because, not everybody's going to have the wider foot base. So what they did is that they created the chakras to be a little bit of a thinner profile. But when they did that, they also developed a better heel that would fit people for the people that had a problem with the normal Shamans. And one of the things that they did is that they basically developed a better heel for heel hooking on the chakras. So the cool thing is that everybody who's tried these on now loves the heel, and they're trying to take this portion and they're trying to develop it in like some of the other shoes that aren't going to be so aggressive.
Seems like a great idea.
Yeah, I thought so too.
One more.
Wait, I got it.
You got it?
Wait,
You got
I
it?
got it.
All right,
I got it.
all right.
So I'm gonna compare it to the black wings. The black wings are like kind of aggressive. The rubber on this, I love the rubber on this. I feel like it's just like it's sticky enough that I trust it a little bit more than most of my climbing shoes. I feel that way about Evolv rubber. I love the Trax rubber. I rave about it excessively. From the cruisers to the Zenders to the climbing shoes, I am just like
A huge fan.
I'm a huge fan.
I personally, I know I'm not supposed to talk during this because this is not my review, because I didn't try them on, but I am a huge fan of this brand new line that they're pulling in. Whatever they did with the rubber for the new Evolv line, I have to say that I love just kind of the texture of the rubber and how it bites.
For sure.
I have one more little thing about the
Yeah?
LB that kind of brings it back to the fit.
All right.
Still a comparison. Good stuff. I was gonna say about how the LVs I thought were like much stiffer shoes in general. The rubber felt a little stiffer. Something about it. So like putting on these, I don't think you'll feel like a connection to the LV if you're going from the LVs to these, because this is like such a much softer shoe. Like the rubber feels different. The shoe is like just like a completely different feel.
Well, it does.
Interesting.
Now.
Yeah, I mean I like it. Like I love it.
You love LVs.
I love these. I love the LVs, but I actually just think it's like when you put your foot in the shoe, it's like a really different feel. And I don't know if you have that experience too.
It's all mushed in there, so
Yeah.
I mean it. I don't feel as different as you are, but.
All right, so I'm gonna take your lead on that. We're gonna try to tweak this for Anacron as a question, but so do you feel that if you were an LV lover that you should move to this, or do you think they should move to another shoe?
I think it's like a great progression to go with these from the LV. I just think if you're expecting something like as stiff as the LV, that might be different. Like what's actually how it feels might be different than what you're expecting. But I think it is a good stepping stone. Like in terms of like what it does, it's like similar. It just like feels different. The rubber feels different. Maybe this is all in my head, but this is just how.
No. For sure, like one of the things that they did is that they made it a little bit softer and a little bit more sensitive. Like sensitive is kind of like our word for climbing, about like how you're supposed to have this connection between your foot, your toes, and the wall.
Yeah.
They're definitely more sensitive.
I felt like with my LVs, there's just like a hunk of rubber on the end, and like the edge just like never went away, and like that's cool, and it just like felt like it was like I just feel the more sensitivity. I feel that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a great progression shoe. I think it's a little bit better. I think that, like I said before, it's everything that I love about the LV and then a little bit more. So, yeah, go for it.
All right. So since you didn't climb in the LVs,
Right.
as your first Evolv shoe, Anacron, like what do you think?
I'm definitely feeling like these are something I'd like to continue. Wear even after these work out or whatever.
So are you saying that you would rebuy them?
I would rebuy them. I would rebuy them, and I would definitely keep a pair for specific types of climbs, or specific
No, I get that.
types of performance. you
Yeah.
know? There are a few things, again, like on slab, like my older shoes are still like, okay, these feel great to me. Even on, and I like super volumey
You do?
comp problems a lot.
Yeah.
And on super volumey comp problems, I think my older shoes are also better for me because it's more flat surfaces or solid. But when I'm getting on stuff with little chips and like just tiny footholds, it's like these things, like I can't even compare my older shoes to them. So I think I would always want to have a pair of these on hand for that kind of stuff.
So this is how I'm gonna. So it sounds like for anything that is high performance with small footholds, that you're easily gonna grab these.
For sure, absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Cool.
I do switch out. Like I switch out of them for certain problems. I'm like, I can't do this in these, so I need the red lines. So the resold red lines, let me be clear, they are not aggressive anymore. They're great all around shoes, but yeah, there's some things that just cannot climb in them.
Because like it hurts.
No, it just like smearing doesn't work in these. Like I can't do it. Maybe it's because they're a little tighter, but it doesn't give me a great smear, and I'm like, all right, time to switch.
It does hurt me when I try to do certain things in them, and that's because, again, like just with my like bony feet, I have like a whole new set of calluses along the tops of my toes from these, and so certain things I feel it pushing really hard right here, and I'm just like, I can't do this because it just hurts too much. So then I'll go down.
You weren't the only one that really upsized though. Like
but I was just gonna say, I did upsize. So I was also gonna say that like I feel like with the upsize or something else, I think that they're not like amazing for smearing. They're not like the moccasins or something. I still am like perfectly confident smearing in them, and I don't feel like maybe they were like designed to be like your slab shoe, but I don't feel like they like don't perform well in those circumstances. I feel like they perform well. That's so maybe it's because of the size difference.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys watched one of our other videos, you know that we tend to talk a lot, so I'm gonna stop this video and restart it just so we can continue to talk. All right, we are back. I had a question, and I guess, so we talked about fit, we talked about performance. Where are we? So everybody's been in the shoe for a month and a half. In terms of durability, where are we?
Good.
Yeah?
I'm nervous, but good.
You're like nervous as in like you may have to get a new pair of shoes in like
Not in a month, but that was why my one caveat with the LVs is that I burn through them so fast that I don't want that to happen again. So I think I burned through them in like 3 or 4 months, like holes, like there were holes in them. So I want these to actually last. I want the edging to stay good, and they're fine for now. You know,
yeah,
6 weeks in. So we'll see.
Mine have had a little more wear and tear. That's probably just because I did a trip.
Dude, you were killing it outside though. I've been watching your Instagram. You've been killing it.
Yeah, like an awesome trip.
You guys do go on an awesome trip.
To Utah. But okay, basically, I don't like take bad care of my shoes. I like keep them in the bag.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that this part is a little bit coming apart right here. In terms of the rubber is totally fine, and that's usually what I go through first on a shoe, but I think it's fine for a while. The color kind of like, you can see hers is much more vibrant and pretty. It's kind of lost some color from dirt. It's not.
I think that's like
dirt.
That's like dirt.
Kind of ugly now. But in terms of like wear and tear, I feel like this part is maybe the weak link on the shoe because on both of them, it's
They're
already
kind of
wearing through.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Actually didn't even notice that, but mine looks okay.
Top one.
Yeah, mine looks
Also,
okay.
the same Evolv problem that always happens is like they
Only one.
smell bad. No one will smell them.
I'm gonna like just. Mine are fine.
Okay.
Mine are solid so far, and with my go-to shoe brand, I literally have had to get new shoes every 2 months since I started climbing. But that's also 4 days of climbing a week.
Yeah.
Like, I go pretty.
Do you feel like you're gonna run through them in like 2-3 weeks?
That's what I'm curious to find out. So I don't know. They seem like they're good. I mean, they don't feel like they're gonna go anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I had a couple of sweaty foot sessions where my foot came out like a weird color from the dye in the shoe, and I had never experienced that before.
That nobody actually has experienced that to my knowledge in that shoe yet.
Neat. Okay. Yeah, but that's literally the only thing as far as like wear on the shoe that I've really experienced.
Toe hooks, heel hooks. Anybody do any aggressive toe hooking, heel hooking?
Oh yeah, I'm all about the
Yeah.
toe hooks. But I think they're super great for heel hooks, and they're great for toe hooks too, which is like it's not a shoe problem for me. It's like a coordination. But definitely great for both.
I love the heel hook, as we discussed already. Toe hook is also cool. I like it to use it when I want to be fancy and try to do stuff that looks cool. I also like to do stuff just bat hang crap just for the hell of it. And these are terrible for that for me just because of the whole like ridge on the top of the toe thing that I was talking about. So I would never do anything that would make me put pressure on the top of these. I would avoid it as much as possible. And then actually another thing is dynoing in these is not great. It's one of my favorite things to do.
It's just that you're such a dynamic climber,
yeah.
and I feel like you like to like put like the ball of your foot down.
Exactly, a lot. Yeah, a lot. And these are definitely not for that. That's my overstory.
Heel hooks.
Heel hooks?
Big fan.
Big fan. I feel like we are wrapping it up.
You missed the like most important part. I get so many compliments on how good I look at these. Like these are so pretty. Everyone loves how they look, the colors.
Oh, Aesthetics.
Also,
Are we talking aesthetics?
Yeah, going beyond that, I like how I don't like the idea of this like binary gender thing with climbing and like women's shoes, men's shoes. So I like that it's more like gender neutral. I like that like it's not the women shamans versus the men shamans, and like I like that, and I think that that's a great
Did you
design.
notice I didn't even try to talk about that?
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, this is the shoe that's taking over this shoe,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I like that.
I do too. So, wait,
Hold on. Personally,
What?
I can't stand the colors. I hate them.
You hate
I
that?
hate them.
What?
I hate neon anything. The one thing I dislike about all climbing shoes is like the color combinations are the worst. The M5s are the only color shoes that I ever had that I really liked because they were blue, black, and white. That's like obviously one of my
Your
favorite
aesthetic.
I do
colors.
think
I like
someone should
neon
make
on.
an all black
Yeah.
shoe.
I'm not a neon wearer. I mean, I don't hate neon for everybody, but just for me personally, I'm not a neon wearer, and I always complain about climbing shoes because I'm like, wear like the climbing shoes that are just normal colors, like just normal, basic, solid color. You know, if I could get these, if they made these in all black, this would absolutely be the shoe that I buy every time I get a pair of shoes.
Didn't they make the Aquaman like Chronos in all
Yes.
black?
They made. So, as you guys know, that Jason Momoa is the new Aquaman. This, I don't know how secret this is because now you brought it up, but you and I talked about it.
They evolved it.
Evolv made Jason Momoa like
Aquaman.
an all black Justice League all black
Evolve, if
shoe.
you watch this, make me a fan.
Make me a bear too. You know, I get it though. Like I get the. It's like okay, well, like outdoors we tend to climb until like even now more than nighttime because we just wear our headlamps. And so sometimes you just have to go. It's like, oh, where's my shoes? Where's my shoes? Ah, yes, that bright yellow thing on the ground. That's where my shoes are.
Next step, glow in the dark.
I also think there's like a strategy behind having like really colorful, recognizable shoes because if it was like more neutral colors, like, you wouldn't be like those are La Sportiva solutions.
Oh, that is
those
very
are
true.
like Miras, like those are Evolv Chakras.
I mean, I definitely get that aspect of it. It's definitely easily identifiable with the color combinations that you see on shoes, but you know, even with like street shoes, I'm just very anti-neon.
My running shoes are neon yellow. Like you can't miss me. There's a guy, I ran by a guy a couple weeks ago, he's like, oh, I'm never gonna miss you when you're running. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
Kind of
Tennis
like
ball?
the neon.
Tennis
You
ball.
basically
Okay, what am I missing? Any last thoughts? Are you guys thinking of anything?
Overall, I think it's just a really great shoe, and going from the LVs, you'll like them. Going from any shoe, hopefully you'll like them.
Yeah.
full disclosure, I have these on like maybe the top of my list of
Really?
shoes, like top 2.
Top 2 shoes.
Yes.
Impressive.
I know. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah,
How about-
I've willfully replaced my second pair of shoes that I always, I just have 2 pairs of shoes with me when I go climbing.
Yeah.
These have easily replaced the second pair. And they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay on the carabiner for sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that like I definitely will always own a pair of these and use them probably more than any other shoe. The only other thing that I also really love are the high angles.
I love the handles.
And,
I
like-
talk about it all the time.
I love them both. How do you choose? It's like picking your favorite kid.
You don't
Just
have to
humble.
nowadays.
Yeah.
You don't.
I might try half size up next
Oh,
time.
yeah?
You should. This is the right move.
Yeah.
I might. I mean, I like what they do now. Just that freaking tough.
It might be the. I'm curious. Maybe we should do get a half size up, and then maybe in like 6 months we'll do like a return to the chakras,
Yeah.
and then we'll see how that half size made a difference.
I'm just scared to size up because like with all of the shoes that I get, I actually have to get them so short because my feet are so narrow that
Uh-huh.
when they're even a little bigger, I get sideways movement inside of the shoe and doing stuff, you know? And these right now fit pretty well on the sides and on my arch. So I don't know.
Well, here's a good thing that we can take out of that is that I hear that if you have a narrow foot, that they are awesome because narrow foot, and I hear that they kill on like if you have a narrow foot. So if you guys have low volume in your foot, like these sound like a really good purchase for you guys. Alrighty. I don't want to wrap it up because I like talking to you guys.
Yeah.
But,
He likes talking in general.
I do like talking in general. But let's wrap it up. We appreciate you guys watching. As always, come and if you guys see us in the gym, if you guys happen to be in LA, come and chat with each and one of us because we love that.
We're always at the Touchstone gyms, Clipsavid, Hollywood Boulders, and
LA
Lab
Boulders.
and LA Boulders. Like you'll find us all floating around all of them.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
outdoors.
Or outdoors.
Or outdoors. True.
Yeah. I will link everybody so everybody can, if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow Plastic Fantastic Climbing, you can follow Abby, you can follow Kate, you can follow Anacron. Everybody's got like a really, really great feed. So follow us if you want. And if you have any questions, please ask because we'd love to talk to you guys. And I think that is it. Follow, follow, follow. Any last words? All right, you guys. So again, Plastic Fantastic Climbing, these are our wonderful friends here. We appreciate you guys watching and you guys take care. Bye guys.
Bye.
Sweet.